On the game's first play, it's second down.
Let's go. A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 14 at the 21-yard line.
Down. 10 logo. Hard. Check 99. Hey, Haywood. Draw.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
They will face a 2nd and 9 now following the penalty. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
He can run for it, and he will. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it.
Mike's 47. I'm here all day. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Hey, watch it. Ship, watch the ship. Check three.
They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check 52. No. Off. Watch out.
They'll toss it to Fournette. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's at the 22-yard line.
Here we go, son. 6. Mike's 50. Lady. I'm coming after you.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38.
Here we go.
It's a big play for the Jaguars. And even 40 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Check 50. Lady.
Now Leonard Fournette.
Watch the twist.
They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Sponge. No. 22 jump bombers. You got 2 jet bombers. You got tight right there. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
We call a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
47. Check, 47. Young lady. All that. Hey, lady. Lucky. Young lady. Flare. What? Hey, Charlie. Twins.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Brings up second and 11 at the Saints' 21-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's second and 11. Darnold. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Marcus Davenport, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17, following the 2 negative plays. Darnold from the gun. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Weather like this, always treacherous for kickers. A good sign early, though, as he's able to put that one through.
And you remember him right before the kick stomping around his area to make sure that things were going to hold for his plant foot, and it did.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And he's going to keep it here. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Toss play, Kamara. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself
under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Get it.
Throwing on 3rd down, Hill. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. It was Quincy Williams with a tight coverage there.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight, He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Darnold. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought
under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Darnold. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
132 fighter. Hey, stand on. Hey, wahoo.
2nd and 5 now. Hill into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Fournette. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
We own them. We own them. Ready? Check Mike 47. Check Mike 47.
Darnold now to throw. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Go! 60 Pittsburgh. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Shift.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. He's going to have the first down past the 20. And finally taken down at the 26-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Hey, Zoo. Look at me. Go. 5.
On first down, it's Hill. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Hey, high 7. You're out. Shoot.
Back to throw. Hill. And his throw here is incomplete. D.D. Westbrook is intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
But not a big gain with that play. But what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
Get ready. At their own 28-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and 15 now. Darnold, that's out to his running back, Fournette. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by Patrick Robinson.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. On 3rd down, Hill being chased out left. He may try and run for this. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
Tight end's right. Hey. You got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Now.
Hill on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Leo. Kill. Hey. Get it.
Here's Hill. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
47's the mic.
Now Darnold. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Forced out to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. That sack by Tremaine Edmonds. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Running with Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 4th down. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. So make some room next to Tom Dempsey on the NFL's all-time field goal distance leaderboard. That's going to go down officially as a 63-yarder.
Let's not forget about David Akers, Jason Elam, and Sebastian Janikowski, too. So now Matt Prater at 64 has got a little bit of company up near the top spot. That was one heck of a kick right there.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Hey, Delta. Pick your game.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the catch good. It's Eifert. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the rookie from Florida. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
60 outlaw. Slam. He's coming. We got double up. On the ball. 5.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Look at me, zipper. Backfield, motion out of the backfield. 2.
Now Hill. Eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. He's got the 1st down. Oh, now it's free. Hill fumbled it. And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Red 80. Silver. That's the one. Lady.
And Darnold just beating the play clock. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 45. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
A 10th carry for Kamara. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Let's go.
They run it again with Kamara. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. And Lutz puts this one through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Darnold. Got his man. It's Hunter. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Now a play fake here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe you want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Got it.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A big play there out of Kamara. 81 yards. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The corner, Perry Nickerson, had the tackle. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying the magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
61, that's right.
To throw on third down, Hill. And this is Cook with the ground. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead stretches 16-3 now. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch out. Hey, lady. 27 Mike, 27. Let's go. Lady. Right here. We got to step it up. Hey, lady.
To throw is Darnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Darnold completes it, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
From the 50, it's Darnold. Taking a shot for Samuel. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Mike, 56, right there, 56.
Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. To the air again, Darnold. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they'll get this down to the 10. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Watch twist.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Switch it. 6-6, pull it high.
On 2nd and 15 now. Darnold. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Deebo Samuel his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Go! Hard! Give me that ball!
Here's Hill. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, exit. Go on. Rock it.
Hill. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Nasir Adderley, the rookie from Delaware. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance. To return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. First throw now for the backup Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jags take over in terrific field position. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Push him back. Tight dog. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Hey,
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
They can't hang with us. Check.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
At the Saints' 14-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Check it out.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Leonard Fournette, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down here in a 1-score game, and at the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They've got his man complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Sammy, under. Tighten up. He's crossing. He's checking crack. Hey, break it down, fellas. Break it down. Hey, Haywood.
Breeze to throw. Flush to his right. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. To throw is Breeze. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. That's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
but they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
That catch good for 5. It's third down. On third down, here's Kamara. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. So this will be a